We live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Yeah, let me talk to you about this episode of Impact Wrestling this evening. But before I get into that, I want to remind you guys, if you're new to the channel, there's plenty more where that came from. By all means, go check it out. Hit that sub button if you like, the like button, and ring that bell for notifications so you can find out when more of my stuff hits your screen. Also want to reiterate what I said the other night in one of my other videos, the announcement. Seeing as I'm doing Impact Wrestling review right now, it's not going to be this week. I mentioned that it's happening. I didn't say when, but I can tell you when it's going to happen now. Next week, my Impact Wrestling review will be debuting on rantwithant.com. That's right. Teaming back up with the Rant with Ant guys. Good old G-Rod and Mr. Rant with Ant himself, Mr. Ant. Mr. Ant. Yeah, it's good to be back with those guys. We were, doing stuff together before when we all put our podcasts on Mind of Carnage, and they had the Wrestle Addict, and I was with the Ramblers, and I'm doing my solo stuff, and now a lot's changed over the last couple of years as far as who's doing what kind of podcasts, and some kept going, changed their game up, some dropped out of the game completely. But I'm happy to say I'm teaming back up with Rant with Ant. So from here forward, until further notice, my Impact reviews and I might do news bits. We'll see. Will be on there. Will be featured on their website. So yeah, I'm stoked about that. Pretty darn happy. And also big news for those guys is they are all in. They are going to be part of the what do you call that? Media row? Whatever they call that. I'm a little out of the terminology as far as whatever, but they are actually, I said I was all in because I'm going to all in. Well, they're actually all in. They're actually going to be part of the media setup because there's going to be several different media groups set up at All In. So that's huge for those guys too. Congrats to them on that. Cheers. Cheers to my boys. Couldn't be happier for you. So let's see. Let's get into this episode of Impact Wrestling for May 17th, 2018. Featured on the cover of this, of course, was the funeral for Rosemary. It was a short. So I'm just going to kind of bounce all over the place here. It was cool. We saw a little preview of that. But I assumed it was just going to be creepy, taking the casket to the hole, dumping it in, and then, an eerie way of putting the dirt over and different camera views. No. We did not get that. We got Su Yung blowing the fire and setting the whole thing on fire, and her just screaming in the background, like like in the picture, while it burned up, and all of the other undead brides looking on. Wow. Was not expecting that. That was wild. That just shows that the creativity, because I know that Jeremy Borash had a good sense for like the cinematic stuff when they were doing those segments back because it reminded me of the old, oh, what the hell, the broken, Matt Hardy segments. All the the Hardy compound segments, all the war and all that stuff. Excuse me. So it kind of took me back to that, but it seems like they've, it was like, they're taking it a step further. There's no comedy in this. It's all very, very eerie and very creepy, which is cool. It's like, it just shows that the talent and creativity is still there to do something like that. So props to the Impact team for coming up with that. I can't wait to see what's next for this. We do get a preview, or not a preview, a rundown of some of the matches that are going to happen in 2 weeks at a event called Under Pressure. I'll go over that towards the end. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think of this whole war between Allie and Su Yung and Rosemary? I think it's some of the best stuff that they've done in a while. I mean, as far as, you can make it cinematic looking, you can make it creepy, and there's a fine line between what they're doing and it just looking stupid. I dig it. I really dig it. I think they're doing it well, and I've loved the introduction of Su Yung, that she's new to me. I know some people have been watching her on the indies for a while now. And this is all really new to me, and they're really going full force with her as far as being like a major, pardon the pun, but a major impact on the Knockouts division. They're just they're doing great with all the women. So yeah, good segment there. And I can't wait to see what, does this mean? What does this mean for Rosemary? I got to think that maybe she's going to reinvent herself or come back or something. I don't know. I haven't heard if she's injured, if this was them writing her off or something. I haven't researched it too much, and I try not to speculate too much because, God, that's all the news is. It's like 10% fact and 90%, well, this is what we think may happen to this and this and this. And it's so much BS out there, even with all the Meltzer stuff. Well, this is what we think may happen, and we speculate this. And yeah, it is fun to do that, but when all you're putting out there is just a crap ton of speculation, it's like, wow, that's a big waste of time. But I'd like to do it once in a while if I think it's worth doing. So, let's see. As long as we're talking about the women, let's stay on with the women. We get the debut of Tessa Blanchard versus Kiera Hogan, and with Madison Rayne on commentary, and she's going to be joining her hubby, Josh Matthews, for commentary when they do have a knockouts match, from what it sounds like. So that's cool. They're working together, but it also sounds like Madison Rayne is also getting back in the ring. We see that. We'll get to that in a bit. But anyways, so we get, like I said, we get the debut of Tessa Blanchard against Kiera Hogan. And I think, some people have good days in the ring. Some people have bad days in the ring. I've heard some people say that Kiera Hogan's first match with Taya a few weeks ago, whenever that was, wasn't so good. Her second one was okay. I thought this was great. I thought she had a really decent match with Kiera Hogan. I think, I don't know how long she's been doing this, but, it seemed like the match between these two flowed pretty good, you know. So, but Tessa Blanchard comes out with a win in this one. Poor Kiera Hogan, and then she starts getting her at the end of the after the match, and Madison comes down to help her, which is going to lead to something more later. We'll get to that. So yeah, we get so it's actually like two debuts. We get the debut of Tessa. We get the re-debut of Madison Rayne. Interesting that she came back to the Impact Zone, not complaining. You know, she can certainly help that next wave of knockouts coming through and help them. And you know, being the in-ring veteran that she is, she can help establish the new talent. You know, it's all paying it forward. You know, it's never a bad thing. You know. What else? The street fight. Holy crap. This street fight, which was featured from a House of Hardcore match. Tommy Dreamer, of course, working with Impact Wrestling. And like I said in my last House of Hardcore vid I did last night, talking about the House of Hardcore shows this weekend not being on Twitch. Just want to reiterate to anybody who might have missed that last night. So I'm not reviewing those. I mean, if something changes and I do end up watching them, I will review them. But for now, it looks like it was announced that they're not going to be on there. Tommy Dreamer's been trying to be like almost like a life coach to Eddie and trying to it's almost like a Obi-Wan trying to sway Anakin from going to the dark side, but he's failing miserably. just like in the movie. I can kind of see where this is going, but I don't want to speculate too much. I think, well, I'll say it. I think this is going to end up in a match between Eddie Edwards and Tommy Dreamer. But this whole storyline from top to bottom, beginning to end so far, it's been great. Just watching Eddie Edwards evolve as a character. He's such a, I hate to call him squeaky clean, but I mean, he really does portray that, but he's also an incredible in-ring worker. Now to see him come down in street clothes, and he's got that maniac look on his face, and he's like, you know, drooling while he's holding a lead pipe and going after Sami Callihan. It's just, whoa, what is up with this? But it's great when you have the ability to do that. You look at some guys in the ring and it's like, oh, this dude's going to have this gimmick forever. He's never going to change. Now you look at Eddie Edwards and it's like, it's almost mind blowing just to see how he's been doing this slow downward spiral over the last several weeks. I think they're doing a really good job with that. So Eddie Edwards comes out with a win on this one, but I don't think this is over. In fact, I know it's not over because this weekend on House of Hardcore, they've got another match, and I think it's a fans bring the toys match or weapons, you know, toys. It's something like that. It's everything goes or whatever. I don't know. It's either Friday or Saturday. But yeah, this is a great rivalry. There's, you know, you look at some rivalries and they face each other a handful of times, and by the time they've done it, it's like, oh, can we please move on from this? I dig it. I think in what's making it work is it's not just squeaky clean Eddie Edwards against Crazy Callahan. Eddie Edwards is changing, and Sammy Callahan is also changing too. Just it's not as noticeable. And I think we're actually going to see, I'm not think we're going to see a complete switcheroo here, but Sammy Callahan's a hell of a performer. He's absolutely insane when it comes to this kind of stuff, but he's not stupid. At some point, he's going to stop, because he'll have taken enough from Eddie Edwards. But I can't wait to see where this goes, because I don't think anybody could have seen this go to this point and be this good. I mean, that's my opinion of it. Some people might be sick of it, but I'm digging it. So that's my 2 cents on that. So, but yeah, I and we haven't seen Eddie's wife in a while. I can't remember her name. So it's going to be interesting to see if and when she comes back and she has any more input on the story and where things go with Tommy and Eddie. I think that's gonna be interesting too. The whole segment of KM and Falaba, and he's trying to like fix him up, and then he's strutting past Kiera Hogan, and she's like, "Oh my!" It's like, "No, Kiera, that's too much man for you. I don't think you can handle it." That's that was a pretty funny segment there. Such the odd couple, but that's what makes it funny. Let's see what else here. Oh, we got the world tour of the world tour continuing of Brian Cage against I didn't catch the guy's name. Facade. I think that's what they said. Short but sweet. And I love what they're doing with Brian Cage. It's got to be. There's got to be big things coming down the road for him, And it's just, I'm sure some fans are like, who are, big Brian Cage fans are like, oh, come on, pull the trigger, make him champ. It's, you can't do that with everyone. And I like the slow burn of this. They're making him, look like he's undefeated. It's going to be interesting to see if they have him go for an X Division championship or the Impact World Championship. Or maybe like a grand championship. I don't know. But the way he's like going on this undefeated streak, it's got to be something big. I'm guessing he's going to be champ by fall time. That's my guess. But yeah, he comes out with a win on this one. The guy looked familiar. Facade. It looked like I don't think it was the same guy, but he had the same hair and had the same like I don't know, neon glow stuff as the same guy that used to be in TNA a handful of years ago. Part of that whole gut check crew that came in. I can't think. Was it Christian York? The guy looked like Christian York, but I don't think that's the same guy. I could be wrong, but it looked like him. Anyways, so Cage's undefeated streak rolls on. Talked about that. The night started out. Oh. Almost missed this. The night started out in grand fashion for the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Eli Drake and Scott Steiner defending against a new team of Z&E, DJ Z and Andrew Everett. Wow, what? That was one hell of a great tag team match. And we're starting to see the unraveling the the tightness of the tag team of Eli Drake and Scott. I want to say Scotty Steiner, but it almost turns into Scotty Too Hottie. But that's completely wrong. Scott Steiner doing the worm, just no. Please don't do that. But I will give him credit where credit is due. The guy's doing things that I didn't think he'd be able to do at his age. Is he performing at the level that he did in the last days of WCW? No. But, he still has a decent physique. He's got some peaks. He's got better peaks than me, for crying out loud. But nonetheless, Drake and Steiner lost their championships tonight. A little surprised. So Z&E are the new Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. I was not expecting that. I really was not. I'm like, oh, they're going to throw these guys together and they're going to lose right away. No, boom, they put the belts on them. They're going with them. So, hey, are they gonna get a chance to get their belts back, or are we gonna see more unraveling next week? We'll have to see. But I don't think Drake and Steiner are gonna stick around much longer as a team. As far as the future of them, I don't know. I've been hearing little rumblings around the internet, those internets. About Eli Drake's future, and I'm really not entertaining him much, because I look at what everyone was saying, and Meltzer was saying, oh yeah, Tessa Blanchard, she's going to be joining NXT in a matter of days, weeks, whatever. And then literally in less than a week of all that stuff coming out, what happened? She shows up at Redemption, blows everybody's minds. Certainly surprised me. Let me tell you, because of all that news, it's like, that's why I said so much of that speculation and all that stuff. Man, if they put half the effort into the real news that they put into all this stupid speculative BS, man, wrestling news would be so different. So I don't believe half of it. Not even close to half of it lately. Hell, they're already trying to book WrestleMania for next year. How absurd is that? So stupid. Anyways, new tag team champs. Very exciting. And I just want to make sure I don't miss anything else before we get into the main event. I think that is everything. Oh, no. Almost missed this. Congo Kong, well, this was more comical than, this, 5-star match, but Grado goes up to, was it Grado or was it Kat? I don't want to screw it up. Katarina. I don't know what the hell I was going to say. It wasn't anything close to that. We'll look at the salad dressing. Oh, that's different too. Oh, geez. A lot of accusations from Grado's camp to Jimmy Jacobs' camp about who this mystery attacker is backstage. No one got attacked this week, I don't think. But, and I haven't heard a lot of speculation as far as who it is. That's the great part about this. You can see all the spoilers you want as far as who won what match and who lost whatever. This isn't anywhere in there. Not that I've heard. So, yeah, and I haven't heard like any ideas out there either. I've put out a few, but so nonetheless, Congo Kong beats Grado in glorious fashion, and Moose comes down to the rescue at the end because he's just getting clobbered, and similar to the match before that. And so Moose is going to face off with Congo Kong next week. And we'll go over the rest of that stuff right after the discussion of the main event. Hello. We have a chatter. Just fixing this. There we go. Okay. Main event, Phantasma and Pentagon versus Seidel and Aries. A lot of belts present here. Very good tag team match. Damn, I didn't write down who won it. Well, aren't I just a crappy reviewer? Got up to the main event and I couldn't remember who the hell won it. I think Phantasma got the win for the team. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how it ended. One interesting thing that I did write down for the main event, the discussion during the main event, is they mentioned Ishimori because they were talking about the X division, and because Phantasma's facing Seidel soon, and the mention of Ishimori came up. He actually mentioned that Ishimori went to the Bullet Club and went to New Japan and joined the Bullet Club. Very interesting, because they don't do a lot of talk like that, especially if someone leaves and goes to the WWE or NXT, like a few have lately. But that's I would say that's almost a first of them discussing someone leaving and showing up somewhere else. Kind of interesting. But yeah, that's I mean, he showed up as, I saw pictures of it, Bone Soldier, I think it's called. I don't watch a lot of New Japan lately. Excuse me. Bone Soldier. Ishimori's in New Japan. He is part of that Best of Super Juniors. I believe the press conference was last night. That was entertaining. So I might catch some of that, because Ishimori was it sucks that he's gone from Impact. Apparently he was in Impact while he was a free agent, like doing stuff between Noah, and now he's in New Japan. But like Don Callis said, when someone leaves, it leaves room for someone else to come in. What I'm hoping is that with the new tapings that are coming just around the corner in a few weeks, beginning of June, that we see more new X Division guys. I made a comment of this when they did that Wrestling Revolver show with Impact a couple weekends ago. Guys like oh my God, I almost said Xavier Woods. Desmond, wrong team. Desmond Xavier. Desmond Xavier and, oh crap, what's his tag team partner? Zachary Wentz. Insane talent. And if you have not seen that show, please go to the Impact Twitch channel and go watch that event. It should be on there. I think it's broken up into two parts because they lost feed at one point during the show. But that whole show, top to bottom, was really fun. It's so great when they do that. They work with other companies and put on a house show like that, and they get out of the Impact Zone because, man, I know that's like their home, but sometimes the crowd at the Impact Zone is just, there's nothing worse than them sitting on their hands. I'll give you another quick example, and then I'll talk about some other stuff. Monday Night Raw. 17,000 people in the O2 Arena sitting in their hands. Everybody's complaining about how much Monday Night Raw sucked this week. 17,000 fans should have blown the roof off of that place. It's a UK crowd. You know how UK crowds get. Look at the night after Mania. It's a European crowd. Perfect example. Just another example why Impact Wrestling has got to get on the road. But they're working on it. They're going different places. They're working with other companies. The influx of new talent, keeping it fresh. It's it's a work in progress. You can't hit arenas overnight, and just the fact that they're working on getting one, like it says, one fan at a time, because they know they lost a lot of fans. They're not stupid. So let's talk about next week. Next week, we've got OVE versus Drago and Aerostar. There's no implications there. There's no belts on the line or anything like that. That's just a tag match, but that's going to be sick. That's going to be a lot of fun. LAX versus Trevor Lee and Caleb Conley. Some more good tag team match in there. Moose versus Congo Kong. That's going to be nuts. Two big bulls going at it. And the X Division Championship is going to be on the line. Seidel versus Phantasma. I can't wait to see that, because Phantasma is one of my favorite guys in Lucha Underground. What he's King Cuerno. That's where I was going to say fell in love with him. That doesn't sound too good, does it? Scratch that. Fell in love with his in-ring work. We'll say that. That sounds a little better. And they also talked about the special coming up in 2 weeks. It's going to be on TV special. What's that? Oh, Under Pressure. Cue the David Bowie Queen combo there now. Under Pressure. So we got Aries versus Pentagon Jr. for the Impact Championship. Knockouts title is going to be on the line. Su Yung versus Allie. Going to be very interesting to see what happens in that match, because Allie's been becoming more and more aggressive, and I was not a fan of Allie's for a long time. It took me a long time to get behind her, but she's really proven herself as a good worker. And so yeah, I've been impressed with her stuff, but she's been changing because she was really tight with Rosemary. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's any changes to her when she shows up against Su Yung, or going to be same old Allie. I got a feeling there's going to be a change. What else we got? Tessa Blanchard against Madison Rayne. Can't wait to see that. It's a new young knockout against a veteran knockout. So, yeah, Under Pressure in 2 weeks, and looks like another good episode coming up next week. So, yeah, ball keeps on rolling here, and I keep telling people, man, everybody whining and bitching and moaning and snowflake melting all over the place with WWE. It's like, hey, I love the WWE, but sometimes it's just, in 3 hours, it don't work. So I look forward to more and more of Impact Wrestling, just because they're keeping it fresh and the roster's changing for the better. For the better. That's the big part. It's changing for the better. They're not just throwing hey, let's put this guy. Where's he from? I have no clue. You know, it's they're putting good names in there. So, um, and events keep getting better and better. And as we get closer to Slammiversary, I think we're going to see some more new faces as of June. So I've got some ideas, but I can't jinx it. I can't jinx it. Because if I jinx it, it ain't going to happen. But when it happens, you know I'm going to be talking about it on here. So, wow, we were at 9 viewers for a hot second there. That's pretty awesome. Very appreciated. Just trying to grow the brand. So if you like what you're watching, you know, hit that like button, hit the sub, and share with your friends, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my stuff hits your screen. Don't forget, folks, next week you will catch my Impact Wrestling reviews on the Rant with Ant site. It's been getting a facelift, but I am a new part of their team. So very stoked to be a part of that going forward with my Impact Wrestling reviews. Just like my Lucha Underground and House of Hardcore reviews are over on WrestlingWithWrestling.com when that stuff goes up there. So got my hands in a couple different cookie jars now. It's nice. It's great to be a part of a couple different teams. Everyone just helping everybody out, and that's fun for me. That really is. You know, if I can help someone else grow and they can help me grow at the same time, that's great teamwork. So that's it for this one. And yes, Rich Swann is coming. He'll be at the tapings within the next couple weeks, so we'll be seeing him in the Impact Zone. Mr. Su Yung. No, I'm just kidding. Love Rich Swann. I'm glad he didn't retire from wrestling. He stuck it out, and he's going to be a part of this tremendous growing brand. Can't wait to see it. So that's it for this one, folks. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Good night.